21-year-old student Nikki Gajowski is suing her former tenant, 22-year-old waitress Patricia Carlson, for unpaid rent and damage to her apartment. Patricia is countersuing for damages resulting from a wrongful eviction.
This is case number 95 on the calendar in the matter of Gajowski versus Carlson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Gajowski, you sublet your apartment to the defendant, and you claim that she moved out, she owes rent, and she damaged the apartment. You want her to be responsible. Ms. Carlson said she was just a few days late in paying her rent in March, and you evicted her. You told her she had to get out. You locked her out, and she is counterclaiming for all kinds of things due to this wrongful eviction. Okay. Were you friends before this sublet?
Yes.
How long was your lease?
My lease started March 27, 2003, and it ended April 30th of 2004.
And when did you sublet the apartment to Ms. Carlson?
October 1st of 2003.
And did you sign a written document with her of sublet?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it? So I gather what you wanted, Ms. Carlson, was once this sublet was over, because this agreement is a lease.
Yeah.
And it is a lease for you to live there until the end of her lease.
Yes.
Unless, of course, you could get the lease put in your name, which is, I assume, what you wanted.
Yeah.
So that you would be the primary tenant.
Yes, of course.
That never happened.
No.
Well, you were late in your rent in March. What was the rent?
$520.
Why were you late?
I had to work, so I didn't pay rent. I was like a couple of days late. I went to the office. I told them.
No. I don't know what that means. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Do your parents buy this baloney when you ask a question, you get double talk? I said, why did you pay rent? And you said, because I have to work.
I didn't. I was late.
And so there was no reason. Okay. How late were you? Couple of days. Couple of days is 2. Are we talking about March 2nd?
Rent was due from the 1st to the 5th. I went up to the office around the 13th.
Okay. So that you weren't a couple of days late, you were 2 weeks late in the rent. It's due on the 1st. You have a grace period until the 5th, but you didn't bother to show up until the 13th. Why?
I was working.
Everybody works.
I was doing doubles. It was a month time that employees had to work double shifts.
Sounds to me, if you're working double shifts, you're making twice as much money.
Yeah, but we worked like to all hours of the night. I would come home at like 5 in the morning, and I would have to leave at 9 to get to work by like 10:30.
All you have to do is put your check in an envelope, my dear. So you're working double shifts means you're making a lot of money. Should have had money to pay your rent, $500. There's no excuse.
I understand that.
Okay, oh, fine. So that you breached your lease.
Yeah.
And you got a call, I gather, and as a result of that call, you changed the locks on the apartment. When did you change the locks on the apartment?
I got a call around the 11th. And I tried calling Tricia several times. I left messages. I said, I want to know what's going on. Do you need me to help you? She never returned my phone call, never paid the rent. So then I went in and I changed the locks and I left her a message. I said, look, I changed the locks. Either please go pay the rent with the late fee or, you know, get a U-Haul and move out. I did give her about 3 days. Okay. That was my last resort.
Fine. So you want her to pay the rent that she owes for March, $520, and the rent that she owes for April.
And a late fee of $37.65 or something.
Okay. Now, you also wanted to pay for some damage. What kind of damage?
Well, I had a pet when I lived there. I paid a deposit, and he did cause some damage. I do have a bill here of what I paid out of my pocket. I don't expect the whole deposit back, but she did get a dog without my permission, a puppy.
Then let's not play. Okay.
Well, you know, the damage is people vandalized the door. They stuck condoms all over the door, and they sprayed it with a fire extinguisher. She had a little ashtray outside the door. Plus, when she left, there were cigarette burns in the carpet, and I had to clean the entire apartment. And out of the $200, they charged me $140.
Okay, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Not the 2 months' rent that you want, which is $1,040. Okay, so now you have a counterclaim. I'll hear you.
Can I speak on what she's referring to of damages and stuff?
If you want to. I'm not really seriously
I was dog sitting. The dog stayed in a crate. Didn't go out whatsoever. Took it to doggy daycare so that I knew it would be in safe hands when I was at work. So it didn't do as much as damages. Then she expected.
She's not talking about a lot of money.
Okay, I understand that. But the condoms and the fire extinguisher blown in the door were under resort of her friends. She had an ex-boyfriend would come over late night. They would knock on the door. Came in one time, woke me up because he's...
I'm not considering damages to the door. I'm not, quite frankly, interested in condoms on the door and writing on the door. I'm not interested. You're talking about $100. She's going to deal with it. She wants $1,040 for the months of March and April, and you want her to pay you $700, $800 because she wrongfully evicted you. So let me hear your case.
Countersuing for lost wages.
What lost
Lost wages of when she made me move out. I had received a call at work. I have time cards. I have a statement. Everything that day, she said, you have to leave. I went up to the office on the 13th to tell them that I'm moving out. I'm willing to pay rent and stuff. They called her to let her know. She freaked out, changed locks on me, called me at my work on my cell phone, told me that you better get your crap out. You will have 15 minutes and police supervision. So I freaked out. I have to go get my stuff. This is the stuff I've been earning since I was 17. So I'm not going to let it be gone. I'm not going to let it disappear.
I absolutely agree with you.
Your Honor.
Shh.
Sorry.
So, and that's lost wages, punitive damages, and emotional distress. I've known this girl forever. Known her for a long time. She put me through a lot of stuff. I'm a great friend, okay? I will be there for you any time of the week, any day of the month, whatever. She would call me certain occasions, and it just stressed me out, freaked me out.
Listen to me. I'm not your therapist.
Oh, I understand that.
I'm not your therapist. I want to know what your counterclaim is for. You can't tell me it's for emotional distress because I'm a better friend than she is. We don't maintain a whole judicial system to hear that kind of nonsense.
I understand.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Gajowski says former tenant Patricia Carlson owes for rent and damage to her apartment. Patricia says Nikki kicked her out, so she's not paying.
So tell me what you want.
I want money back from moving abruptly, going to get a U-Haul to move my stuff. I had to pay some people to move. I had to pay people to let me live in their house because I was living on the streets. You know, I didn't know where to go.
Where does your family live?
Probably about a half an hour to an hour away.
Don't they like you?
We get along once in a while.
So temporarily, instead of living in the street, why couldn't you go and live with your family?
Because my car, it's not that mobile. I have to go back to work, and I don't want to go back to work an
So
hour
were
and
you
a half.
living at the street right near your job?
Do what now?
Were you living in the street right
No.
near your job?
No.
You picked another street.
No, I had to inconvenience another friend to let me move in.
You said you were living in the street.
So basically, I could have been living on the street.
No, that's not what you said. You said I was living on the street. I would just want to know which street you were living on, or whether
mean it
I was
that way.
getting high theater here. Listen, you did the wrong thing. You sublet an apartment and you blew off your rent. And she tried to call you a couple of times, and you didn't respond to her call because you were very busy working 2 shifts, and you didn't have time to take a check, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and put it in the mailbox. Wrong. Grow up. Be a big girl. You signed a lease. Your lease was to pay the rent at the appropriate time. You didn't do that. She may have been a little overzealous when she said, listen, you got to get your stuff out of there in 15 minutes, if that's in fact what she said. Bottom line is, she wasn't going to support you while you weren't paying rent. That's unreasonable. Pay the money you owe it, $1,040. Judgment for the plaintiff, your counterclaim's dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She became vain.
I don't know what she's talking about being vain.
Her just being totally into herself.
You know, I'm not all about that stuff.
Don't care about other people other than her.
This is a girl that needs to grow up
And I can do that.
get a life
I don't know, I'm not going to be into that drama anymore. I'm
and quit living the trashy life that she's living.
vain as hell.
19-year-old customer service rep David Gonzalez is suing 27-year-old merchandising manager Heath Stoddard for vandalizing his car. Heath claims David sexually assaulted his friend, Amanda.
Now, this is case number 483 on the calendar in the matter of Gonzalez versus Stoddard. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Gonzalez, it is your claim that Mr. Stoddard vandalized your car and threw a bottle at it, and you want him to pay some $4,000 in damage. And I gather from reading all of these papers that there was an incident involving a girlfriend of yours. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is this the girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to start with her. Step up, please. Tell me your name.
Amanda. Amanda.
All right. Amanda, you have a last name.
Payne, P.
On what night did you allegedly have trouble with Mr. Gonzalez and his friends?
The night of the incident.
Well, what date was that?
I'm not sure.
What date was that?
August 26, 2004.
All right, now I want you to tell me your version of what happened that night.
I was outside talking to Sam over here, and I was going to go back into the apartment, and him and his friend stopped me, and they took me over to the pool.
He and his friend. Did you know them before that evening?
I had met them, yes.
So you were acquaintances?
Right.
And you say he and his friend stopped you. How did they stop you?
They took me by my arms. They grabbed me by my arms just like that.
Yes.
And they took me over by the pool area, and they were touching me and feeling me.
Tell me what they said to you when they grabbed you by the arm. Tell me what...
They had been drinking, so they were just slurring and just making rude comments to me, saying, you're going to come over here and, you know, we're going to do this and that. And I had hollered for Sam. And
so they grabbed you and pulled you over to the pool area?
Yeah, we were walking over by there.
Well, as you were walking over to the pool area, were you calling for help?
Yes, I called for Sam, and they...
As you were walking over to the pool area?
Yes.
Before anything happened to you, were you calling for anybody?
No, because they had just took me by my arms, and they were just walking me over there fast.
Well, did you say I don't want to go with you? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I did.
Amanda. Okay, let's keep going. So they walked you over to the pool area. Go ahead.
They had me picked up, and they were smacking my butt and just touching me, like I said.
And you were calling for Sam?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And they had told me to shut up, and they called me a B word.
Go ahead.
And then that's when Obed came over.
That's this person over here, yeah?
Yes, and he had came over, and he'd been drinking, and I said, Obed, do something. And he said, what? Like nothing was going on.
Yeah.
And then he left. And then I managed to get myself away from them, and I ran back over to Sam and told Sam about it.
Sam. Up. Sam, you have a last name.
Dyer.
What did Amanda tell you, Mr. Dyer, when she came over to you?
Well,
I want you to think very carefully of the exact words she used.
She was crying, and at first I couldn't get her to tell me. It was hard to find out what was going on. She started to tell me that these men had tried to grab her, touch her, and she used the word rape. At the same time that she had told me that, I saw the two walk past me to the car, get in the car.
And this gentleman was one of them?
Yes.
Okay, so they walked past you and they got into the car.
And then I went to the car to ask them if they were leaving. And they said, yes, but we'll be right back. We're going to the store. I went in to get my buddy, Heath, right here, to tell him what had happened. And I was angry. I can say that for myself. I was angry. I don't like to see... She was hysterical, very upset. And I told him what was going on.
You told Heath?
Heath. He was getting ready for work at the time. You know, I was excited. I was like, you know, I was kind of jazzed now, and I'm telling him, these guys are coming right back. This is what happened.
Okay, so they left. They did leave.
They had left, and they returned.
Do they live there in this apartment complex?
Obed.
He does?
Does live there, yes.
He does. So that they came back because they said they were going to?
Yes.
Okay. Strange behavior for people who were trying to rape somebody, to leave and come back. But go ahead.
Okay. I didn't actually see this, but I heard a glass shatter. That's when he later had told me that was a beer bottle that hit the window.
That he threw at the window?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The passenger then, he's not here right now, but the passenger jumped out, throwing his hands up, ready to fight.
Because somebody had thrown a bottle?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
There were three of them, one of Heath. Heath was approaching the car. As he was approaching the car, I went around the passenger side and engaged in a scuffle with the guy who had jumped out. I was ready, telling him to take a swing, which he did try to take a swing. I ended up taking him to the ground. He started to pull away from me. Heath was right there. They started fighting. I started to separate the two, the guy that is not here, Heath, and that other guy. And that's really all that I saw.
You've been most helpful.
Thank you.
Don't sit down.
Okay.
Mr. Gonzalez, had you been drinking that night?
We had been drinking. We weren't drunk.
Had you been drinking that night?
No.
Had you been?
Yes.
What had you been drinking?
Beer.
And you?
No, ma'am.
Fine. So you were drinking.
Yes, ma'am.
Who was driving?
I was driving. I only had one beer. I wasn't drunk at all.
Who else were you with?
I was with my other friend and my cousin Obed.
Do you know Amanda Payne?
I do. I met her.
You want to tell me what happened that night?
Yes, ma'am, I do. That night, my cousin Obed had called me, and he said, hey, Miss Payne wanted to see me that night. I went over there with intentions of only seeing her. And
Is that right, Obed?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up.
And
Shh.
oh, sorry.
Obed, when did Miss Payne tell you that she wanted to see your cousin?
We were outside talking, and I told her that David was in town, and she told me to call him up, so I called him up.
Is that right?
No. I never wanted to see him.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, you are. You are. I could tell that your whole story was a little bit smelly. But about this, I know for sure you're lying, because he's telling me the truth. You caused a whole lot of trouble that night.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. David Gonzalez says he was assaulted and his car was vandalized by Heath Stoddard. Heath claims David sexually assaulted his friend.
Go ahead.
After that, what had happened was when I came outside, they were sitting over, my cousin and my friend were sitting over there with her talking, and she
Where?
called my name near the pool area.
Go ahead.
She called my name to tell, she said, Obed, do something, and I said, guys, leave her alone.
What were they doing?
She was sitting on his lap while my friend was standing up talking to her.
Well, what did it appear as if they were doing?
Sitting and talking, that's what I thought they were doing.
Okay, was she crying at that point?
No, ma'am.
Was she screaming at that point?
No, ma'am.
When you came out and you said, guys, leave her alone, did she get up?
Yes, she did. She got up, and so did they, and I took them to the store to put gas in their car.
And then you came back?
Yes, ma'am, because they dropped me off. They had to go back to where they lived.
Do you know Heath?
Yes, ma'am, I do. He lives right across the breezeway from me.
You think Heath knew that she had said, why don't you call David and have him come over?
No, ma'am, because he came and asked me earlier on after the incident happened. He asked me some questions, and I told him she told him that she had nobody, that she was just staying with him, just to live there. She didn't say that she was dating him.
According to you, Amanda, this was a pretty terrible experience. Is that right?
Yes.
When did you contact the police, and can I see the police report?
The cops were called while the fight was occurring.
Can I see the report, please? Who called the police?
I'm not sure.
There was a lady that lived upstairs, and she called the cops.
Is that the only police report you had? This has nothing to do with the assault.
That is the assault.
No, this is what you allege happened to you. What happened to the assault on these guys?
I couldn't get access to it. I tried.
Did you file one?
Yes, I did.
When?
On that night as well, August 26th.
Now, what happened with these allegations, Miss Payne?
We went to court several times in Bethany, and at every hearing that we had, it got continued, and then finally they dismissed it and told me to go file in Oklahoma County because they didn't want to deal with it anymore. They thought it was a more serious matter.
Were you ever arrested?
No, ma'am, I was not.
There was never an arrest with regard to your allegations of sex abuse, madam.
I never went back and filed.
Why?
Because they had made a police report on Heath, and I didn't want them to go forward with pursuing Heath because I didn't think he was in the wrong, and I was tired of going through it.
When did they make the police report against Heath?
The same night.
First?
No.
You know that I don't believe you when you say that you didn't tell him to call David to come over?
You might not believe me, but I didn't.
Because you knew these two young men. There were other people around in the complex that night. If somebody grabbed you by the arm to walk you over to the pool area, all you had to do was scream and say, let go, help me, somebody help me, which you didn't do. Which you didn't do, because they would have heard you.
There were two guys. There were two of them.
They were not armed, madam. You knew who they were. All you had to do was scream, somebody help me. You didn't do that.
I hollered for Sam.
Let me see the damage to your car, please.
You want to see the estimates as well?
Yep. I'm going to get back to you in a second, Sam. Sometimes things are not as they appear. Now, you had options. Your option was, instead of going out there and starting trouble, you go into the house and you call 911 and you report an alleged attempted rape and you wait for the police, right?
Could have done that.
Is that the right thing to do?
That is the right thing to do.
Would you say that if I am correct, that Amanda over here asked Obed to call his cousin David, and she wouldn't want to say that now because things got out of hand that night, right? Right? Things got out of hand with you and with Heath that night, right? But if I am correct that she wanted David to come over just to talk, you would have been wrong to get involved with this, to confront and assault him, right?
If
the passenger in the car?
If she hadn't.
I'm saying to you, if I am correct.
If you are correct. I see what you're saying, yes.
How old are you?
30.
I'm older. What kind of work do you do?
At the time, I was a detention officer for a juvenile detention center.
And now?
Now I manage group homes for people with developmental disabilities.
Well, my job for the last 30 years or so has been to figure out who was telling the truth and who's telling a lie. That's my job.
Right.
So I have more experience than you do. So you have to rely on me when I say to you, she asked Obed to call his cousin. Now, if you knew that then, would you have confronted the passenger in the car?
Not in that case.
Right. Okay. Boy, if I were one of two guys that attempted to rape somebody, I wouldn't go put gas in my car and come back to the same place. That just doesn't sound right. Once I got in my car, I would leave and not come back. Say, boy, hope this blows over. Wouldn't you?
They may have thought nothing was going to happen.
Maybe they thought nothing was going to happen because nothing happened. That's a possibility, isn't it?
That is a possibility.
I know that Heath would like to believe everything that she says. It's not true. And what you two gentlemen should have done was to pick up the phone and call the police so that in the event that something did happen to this young lady, the police would have dealt with it. They weren't going anywhere. They had just come back. What kind of car do you have, sir?
1995 Mazda 626.
The estimate that you have probably is worth more than the car is worth. There's a lot of damage to the car. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We were about to leave home, and then the cops come over, and they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, here's his papers, sexual assault and battery. I was like, what?
She just speculated and made her own ruling, and, you know, she didn't even ask me what happened, you know, my side or anything.
Basically, she ran the game on everybody.
They're lying. They wanted their money, and that's what they're getting.
Her story was whack. Everything she said was whack. All three of them were whack, and that's what they get.
I just feel really bad for Amanda.
It escalated to fighting and beer bottles hitting windows.
I saw red. I was ready to take someone down.
Thanks, Judge Judy. You rock.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus Elahi. Step forward, please.
19-year-old bank teller Chris Young is suing limo company owner Mike Elahi for ruining his prom. Chris says the limo was too small and over an hour late.
Mr. Elahi, you own a limousine company?
Yes, ma'am.
How many cars do you have?
4.
How long have you had the company?
This company is about 2 years.
What kind of cars do you have?
I have a sedan, SUV, and Excursion and Hummer.
Mr. Young,
yes.
You, according to your complaint, hired the defendant for a prom?
Correct.
And what kind of car did you rent?
I requested, he told me he had a 18-passenger Hummer limo.
Is that what you told him you wanted?
Right, he said that's all he had left.
Did you have a contract with him?
I have the credit card statement.
Let me see it, please. What night was your prom?
It was the night of May 15th.
And when had you reserved this?
I called her around the 12th, I believe it was.
Would you have been just as happy with the SUV or another car?
The whole reason we ordered the Hummer is because we had a couple extra people join our group.
What time was he supposed to arrive?
He's supposed to arrive at 6:30.
What time did the car arrive?
Around 8:15.
What kind of car arrived?
It was a 12-person excursion.
Did you call the defendant between 6:30 and 8:15?
I called the defendant at 6:30 to ask where the limo was.
And where was the limo, sir?
It was at the location.
No, he called you at 6:30, sir, asking you where the car was.
At 6:30, I don't recall that. I don't recall that.
Well, you don't recall that?
No.
Well, he does. So then you must be mistaken.
I talked to 6:45. I talked to the driver. And he was with the customer.
With what customer?
With the passengers.
These passengers?
Absolutely.
No. Sir. No. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here today. What's the name of your company?
A1 Limousine.
A1 didn't do their job that night, sir. They didn't get to his house until, according to him, at least an hour and a half late.
Well, it was an hour and a half. It wasn't late at all, man. It wasn't late at all.
You don't know that at all, sir.
Yes, I talked to the driver myself.
Listen to me very carefully, Mr. Alawi.
Sure.
You can't tell me what the driver said to you. That's hearsay. Why didn't you bring the driver here?
Well, driver is no longer with the company.
Why not?
With the company. Well, this job is about a year ago. I tried to find a driver. Well,
it's not a year ago.
I wasn't successful.
All right, well, then you can't tell me anything, sir. I have to rely on what the plaintiff tells me. So the car was an hour and 45 minutes late.
All right, I have proof of the limo being late.
Can I see it, please? You still have this limousine company?
Yes, I do.
I would have suggested, Mr. Alawi, that what you do is to credit Mr. Young for that evening, or at least for a substantial part of it, because your company's not going to come out looking really good tonight.
Well, according to my note, I checked with
Here's a letter from the Agora High School, from the principal, indicating that they received a distress telephone call from the parents of Chris Young, indicating that the limo, which had been ordered, had not arrived, and the students would miss the 9 o'clock deadline for admission. After conferring with me, the students were granted a half-hour extension of the deadline until 9:30.
Well, ma'am, they used the service. They used the service, and they were in the car before 7 o'clock. There was no way they were...
They were not! They were not in the car. Because, listen to me,
yes,
the car didn't get there.
Well, they could have canceled the whole thing. Why did they use the service then? If the driver was late hour and 45 minutes, why did they use the service?
Where is A1 Limousine located?
West Los Angeles.
I wouldn't use them. Ever. When you have a company, and we're not getting to the condition of the limousine when it arrived, because I read that. When you have a company that accepts the responsibility of providing limousine service for high school kids for their prom, and you don't do the right thing, you have to be able to accept responsibility.
Absolutely, that's part of our job, you know, to be there on time.
And you did not. And if you did not, you're supposed to be able to say, we did not, and it's a cost of doing business, I'm going to refund your money.
Well, that's not true, ma'am. The driver was there on time, and the car was
I'm telling you, the driver was not there on time. What part of that don't you understand?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but you know...
Are you thick? You have pictures of what the car looks like inside? Can I see it, please? Can I see it, please?
The pictures don't show any much of the mess inside. But I have a witness that saw the inside of the limo.
Who is that?
Paula.
Step up, please. Tell me your name.
Paula Smith-Shamey. I'm the mother of his date. I was there through the whole waiting for the driver.
You were the mother of his date?
Yes.
That would be you. You look very pretty, by the way.
Thank you.
What time did the car arrive?
It was about an hour and a half after it was supposed to be there. And even when the limo did finally arrive, the driver would not take them. He said that he was being told that he could not drive them, or if he drove them, he wouldn't get paid. On his own, he suggested, well, I can take you down there because it's on my way back, but I can't bring you back.
Did he bring them back?
Well, after negotiating, yes, he did take them, but there wasn't enough room. The kids sat on the floor. 2 of the kids were transported by their parents, but it was still very crowded in there. One of the kids was on the floor.
Could you describe to me what the limousine looked like?
It looked like a party vehicle. It was leopard print with mirrored ceilings. There was cans on the floor. There was dirt on the carpeting inside. And it was
Was this one of your regular cars, Mr. Alawi? That's the answer, yes or no. Was this one of your regular cars?
No, ma'am.
You subcontracted for this car.
That's correct.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, which was $1,356.25. Mr. Alawi, I'm going to tell you something, sir. You make a big mistake as a businessman. As a businessman, you certainly don't air your dirty laundry in front of 10 million people. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was dirty. There were soda cans all over it.
During that time, the prom, everybody looking for that type of car.
We didn't get anything to drink because the cups were already used.
Maybe you got dirty after they used the service.
We were so have a good time. We didn't let it bother us.
Just wasn't what I expected for my...
He had other priorities, smoking crack.
Everyone has their problems, but I don't anymore.
It's very upsetting because I got walked on.
I helped her too. It goes both ways.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Reed versus Loft. Step forward, please.
27-year-old healthcare aide Lisa Reed is suing her former friend, house cleaner Barbara Loth, for breaking her toilet when she sat on it.
Miss Reed, the defendant used to be a friend of yours. She was visiting you, and according to your complaint, she went into the bathroom and she broke your toilet. She cracked it. You want her to pay for it.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
How many times had she been to your house before?
A whole bunch.
You may step out.
She was drunk when she went in the bathroom. I heard her fall on the toilet. I think she should pay for it.
It's New Jersey, it's the landlord, and everybody's trying to make us pay for everything.
I had to clean out the water with the towels.
Just because you're a big person doesn't mean that, you know, you have to be the responsibility of everything that breaks in life.
I waited 2 weeks to get the toilet repaired. During that time, I was using my neighbor's bathroom, going up and stairs to the bathroom.
God bless chubby women.
Healthcare aide Kimberly Rebetter is suing her former landlord, Robert Griffin, for a wrongful eviction, the return of stolen property, and sexual harassment. Robert says he evicted Kimberly because her fiancé is a registered sex offender.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 532 on the calendar in the matter of Rebetter versus Griffin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Miss Rebetter, the defendant was your landlord.
Yes.
How long had you lived in an apartment that he owned?
I lived there from October the 10th to February the 12th or the 13th. I'm not sure about that.
And what date did Mr. Griffin tell you you had to move?
Like maybe the last week of January, that last Sunday.
About 2 weeks before.
Yes, that'll be good.
And it is your claim that he evicted you because you had declined his sexual advances.
Yes,
that
that's
he
correct.
Was sexually harassing you.
Yes, that's correct.
Forced you to move.
Yes.
And kept some of your food and property.
Yes, that's correct.
You moved. Mr. Griffin says that is certainly not true. Those allegations are in retaliation for his telling you you had to move. And he told you you had to move because your fiancé moved in with you. Your fiancé was a paroled sex offender. Mm-hmm. He received complaints from other neighbors because the police sent flyers around indicating that your fiancé was now living with you. And he did tell you that you had to move, that he neither harassed you in any way, nor did he take any of your property. Now, did you have a lease with Mr. Griffin?
No, ma'am, we did not have a lease.
Is there any reason why you didn't have a lease?
Well, we didn't have a lease because he just said that, you know, we didn't need a lease.
So you were a month-to-month tenant,
okay,
which means you can move out at any time? You have no responsibility beyond the month's tenancy. And he can tell you to leave as long as he gives you a certain amount of time to leave.
Okay.
Right? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I do understand that.
Okay, good.
But my thing was, when we first moved there, I paid Mr. Griffin $1,050 for 3 months. And everything was okay.
So the $1,050 was for 3 months' rent?
Yes. Yes.
Is that right, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. So you're paying $350 a month?
Yes.
So you're paid up until January, and you lived there during the month of January?
Yes, we did.
Okay, February you did not pay rent?
No, we didn't pay rent because he started with the harassment where he was going to call the police on my fiance just to get me out, because the thing was he was upset with me because, like I said, even though he wants to deny it, I know what the truth is. He sat there and he would harass me. He would come into the apartment. First of all, he would come in all the time without letting me know. Just come in. I got to fix something, and nothing would never get fixed. Secondly, when he, like around Christmas time is when the harassment really started, because we were like in contact a lot, because I stayed in the back house and he stayed in the front, and I was getting packages, you know, for Christmas things or whatever. And when he would bring me my Christmas packages, he would, you know, say things like, "Baby, you sure look good, too bad you gay." Or he would say things like, I'd take you away from your man and make you mine. You know, and I just couldn't understand, you know, this older gentleman coming at me like this when I've never, you know, been out of line with him. I've never disrespected the guy or anything. He just would come on to me like this, telling me about his sex life. I don't want to know that. I have a fiance.
Well, tell me what he said to you about his sex life.
That he's, well, I'm not going to curse, but he would say that, yeah, I got a 21-year-old that I'm still F you, you know. And I'm like, so? You know, that's not my business, you know. And I never once...
So he was telling you about another girlfriend?
Yeah, I mean, no, not really girlfriends. He would call them his, you know, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Not whatever. What did he say?
He would say his, yeah, I got it, you know. But that's irrelevant because, you know, like I said, that's not my place. You know, I don't care what you have. All I'm doing is here paying my rent.
Let's get on with it. What else?
Basically, that was, you know, that sexual harassment, and then the coming to my house, coming in and out whenever he wanted to.
You want to say something to me?
Nothing she says is true. Not anything.
I'm not impressed with anything she said.
Well, I'm not trying to.
I'm not impressed with anything she said.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just telling you the truth.
If I believed what you said, that's not sexual harassment. I want to steal you away from your boyfriend. Probably wishes he could.
Yeah, but I mean,
now listen to me. How old are you?
34.
I guarantee you've heard in your lifetime a lot worse. My dear. A lot worse.
Yeah, but not for
a lot worse, and you haven't gone to court about it.
No, I haven't because, okay, excuse me. Now, back to my property, my things coming up missing. I don't think that's right. I never went in his house and took anything. I never, you know.
Well, what's missing and what makes you think he took it?
Because he moved his daughter into our place when my stuff was still there.
When?
February 1st. February 1st.
No, he couldn't have moved your daughter in. Listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me. He couldn't have moved anybody in there because you swore to me not more than 5 minutes ago that you didn't leave until February 12th or 13th.
Excuse me. It is another room in where I occupy, and he did move his daughter in there, and she began to threaten me. That's why I'm saying the harassment came in at, like...
that has nothing to do with him. If somebody else is harassing you, that has nothing to do with him.
I mean, you know, yes, it is. It does have a lot to do with him because he's the one who told his daughter to harass me. And he even called his other daughter to come in and throw my stuff out in the rain. And if that's not harassment, I don't know what is.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Rebetter says her former landlord, Robert Griffin, evicted her after she turned down his sexual advances.
Did you pay rent for February?
No, I did not pay rent for February.
You had no right to be there after February 1st if you didn't pay rent.
My rent wasn't up until February 10th.
Good, and you had no right to be there until February 11th, 12th, or 13th. You were still there. You had no right to be there. You don't pay rent, you're a squatter. He can take your stuff, he can throw it in the sewer. I don't know what gives people the right to think that they can live in a premises and not pay rent.
No, I never said that. But
Good.
I mean, once the man was threatening me and
I didn't hear any threats. Now I hear threats. What kind of threats? You didn't tell me any threats before. That he wants to take you away from your boyfriend?
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about the threats with his daughters.
I don't care about the daughters. That's the defendant. That's the one standing here. This is not the great American giveaway, madam. That's not what courts are all about. If you have a legitimate case of sexual harassment, you file it. This amounts to nonsense. You didn't pay rent. He told you to move. You didn't have a lease. He gave you notice. Same kind of notice that you could give him if you found another place that you wanted to go to. Right? Had no lease. That's what happened. You're 34 years old. You know what a lease is? You know what a lease is not. Have you ever signed a lease on an apartment?
Yes.
Have you stayed there for the full term of the lease?
Yes.
You know what would happen to you if you left before the lease was up?
Yeah.
What would happen?
You'd get in trouble.
Well, they could sue you because you have a contract.
Okay.
You don't have a contract with him. He doesn't have to allow you to stay in his house. If he had any problem with your fiancé and with other people complaining about your fiancé, he has the right.
But that's not the truth. See, wasn't nobody complaining about my fiancé.
How do you know that?
Because I lived on the same street. We lived there. Did nobody ever complain about my fiancé? Nobody even knew.
Can I see a copy of the notice that was sent out by the police, please?
This is one of the latest notices. That's the one of the latest one. This is the notice by the police.
Okay, this is a registered sex offender advisory. You are Dwayne Cedric Edwards, is that you? Okay. And you got this notice?
Yes, ma'am.
Or somebody gave it to you?
They put them out all in the neighborhood.
This is why he says...
And that's not the truth. That's not the truth.
It may be,
though.
it may not be. I don't find your testimony credible that the reason he evicted you was because he made sexual advances to you that while your boyfriend was living with you, that you rebuffed. This was causing him difficulty.
But that's
you were
not
causing
the
him
truth.
difficulty. You did not pay February's rent. Well, you got what you bargained for. Goodbye, good luck, and have a happy life.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
When she called me, she was sleeping in a car on 55th Street. She didn't have no place to stay.
Mr. Mack is a liar, and he know that the reason why he put us out, he know why. It ain't had nothing to do with Dwayne.
I never even looked at that girl. He kept her locked up in the room so tight, I didn't even know she was there half the time.
He's standing his old butt over there smirking, and he needs to be socked upside his head somewhere.
I had 3 people complaining about the things he was doing, peeping on, knocking on doors, peeping in the bathroom.
He a jerk. He just a jerk. He a old jerk.
After all this commotion coming about him peeping in doorways and doing things I won't say on TV, standing in front of the bathroom and doing, I won't say that. I had to get him out of there.
God don't like ugly. That's all I'm gonna say.
Christine Hagan is suing her ex-boyfriend, ironworker Brian Smart, for car repair bills, the return of a big screen television, and an assault. Christine says during a night of heavy drinking, Brian beat her up and held her captive.
Your Honor, this is case number 522 on the calendar in the matter of Hagan versus Smart. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Miss Hagan, Mr. Smart used to be your boyfriend. I don't know whether you lived together, but according to your complaint, at the time that you broke up, he assaulted you. And during the process of that assault, he also damaged your car. In addition, it is your claim that you stored a big screen TV at his home, and he won't return it. That's what your lawsuit says. And Mr. Smart says that he bought the TV and he never assaulted you.
Correct.
Okay. When was this breakup, Miss Hagan?
It was December 25th.
And had you been living together at the time?
No, we weren't. I lived with him for about a week in the summer. It was approximately July.
Okay. Now, the altercation that you're talking about, you say happened on December 25th,
right.
2004. Approximately what time?
It was about 11 o'clock in the evening.
Tell me what happened.
I had spent the night with him for Christmas to help him with his kids and stuff like that during Christmas. We had problems prior to this with his father not liking me, and so he went to his family's house for Christmas Day, and I went to my family's house for Christmas Day. During that time, he said, we'll get back together later on that evening. He'll give me a call. It was about 10. I got a call, but I couldn't hear it. His family lived about a couple hours away drive. I figured he was probably going to stay there. So I went and proceeded to go to his house that night to go ahead and get my tools.
What were you going to get your tools for on Christmas night?
Prior to this, I know it sounds like this is a very long story. Prior to this,
we'll make it a very short story. I mean,
okay.
What were you going to do with your tools that night?
My timing belt went off in my car. We had tried to fix it prior to this. It didn't function right. I went to go to my family's house and it was running really bad. So when I was waiting for him to get home, he just didn't call or show up or anything. So I figured I'll go ahead and go get my tools from his house.
So you were annoyed with him?
No, no. It just, there were issues that I was the one working on the car too.
Miss Hagan,
I know pretty much about cars, so I was going to do it
I
myself.
just want to know something. It just doesn't sound right that after spending a day with your family and you're expecting him to call and he doesn't call, you choose that evening at 11 o'clock at night to go over there to get your tools.
There was a call. My daughter's birthday is the following day after that I was trying to make sure I had a car running so I could take my daughter
so you went
out.
over to get your tools. Your tools were located in the house?
No, they were underneath. There was like a little thing and had like a little shelter type thing on top
Called
of
a
it.
basement.
Okay. So what happened when you got there to get your tools?
He pulled up. Once he pulled up, he left the door open. He jumped out of the van and just came at me. I mean, literally just came at me and just started swinging at me. And he asked me if I was leaving, and I'm like, I couldn't even talk. He had me grabbed by the jacket and just shaking me extremely hard, and then he just kept throwing me into my car. I hit the back window. I couldn't do anything. I mean, he had me pretty much pinned. So after that, he kept saying everything, he just kind of arguing, telling me how much he hates me, die, I hate you, calling me names and verbally abusing, just language at me. He could smell the alcohol in his breath. He was just completely drunk. I mean, he couldn't even hardly stand up sometimes when he was fighting me, but he was strong enough that no matter if I tried to fight him, the more I fought him, the stronger he got. And there was no way I could get away from him.
I heard that already. Let's move on.
So after that, he grabbed a hold of me and he said, we're going in the house. And I told him I didn't want to go in the house. So he picked me up and he carried me into the house.
Picked you up and carried you in the house?
Yes, he picked me up and carried me into the house.
But I was too drunk to walk.
Mr. Smart. He picked you up and carried you into the house.
Right, and he was slamming me into things. And then he got me into the living room, put me on the couch, and told me to sit. And he jumped me and pushed me over the couch and just started slamming my head into the wall and onto the floor. And I finally got to the point I got free, grabbed him around his neck. I didn't know why. I just told him I loved him. I knew he was going to stop hitting me. I was not strong enough to actually fight him off me anymore. And then he did finally stop hitting me. At that point, the rest of the night, he just stood over me saying, I ain't going nowhere. Leave your tools. You're not going nowhere. And it just continued all night.
So it's stopped. And you stayed the night? Is that what you're telling me?
I had no way to run. There was nowhere to go.
And according to you, he stayed up all night standing over you.
He did fall asleep for a little bit. And I tried to get up. And I went to the bathroom, went into my purse, and I got my spare set of keys. He did, prior to this, took my keys out of my car. And then he finally just said, that's it. I want you out of here. And I said, fine, let me go.
At what time was this?
This was about 7:30, 7:45 in the morning.
Okay, so what you're telling me is from 11 o'clock at night when he came home, very drunk, hardly able to stand up, until 7:30 in the morning, he was awake.
Oh, he woke up.
Just a sec. Well, did you sleep?
Did I sleep?
That's my question.
No, I did not sleep.
So you didn't sleep at all?
No, I didn't. I was too scared.
So you didn't sleep at all, and he slept?
No, he slept for a little bit, and every time I moved, he would start moving.
What do you mean every time you moved? Were you sleeping together? Shh. Were you sleeping together? And where
yes, we were. Yes, we were.
Sleeping together where?
In his bedroom. He brought me into the bedroom after.
Okay, well, you didn't tell me that. First, we started on the couch. Do you have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see the police report, please.
Why don't you show her a picture, too?
Shh.
Shut up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Steen Hagen says ex-boyfriend Brian Smart assaulted her during a night of heavy drinking. Christine also claims Brian held her captive for the night.
Mr. Smart, I'd like you to tell me your version of the events, sir.
That evening I came home, it was more like 1:30. When I pull up my van, she's got her car back in my basement, loading up her tools and my tools. I say, I'll come up to her, hey, what are you doing? You know, what makes you think you're going to come to my house 1:30 in the morning loading up stuff in my house?
She had to fix a car the next day.
I said, yeah. I was like, well,
go ahead.
Nothing's going to get fixed tonight. What do you think you're doing? I said, we'll deal with this tomorrow. You know, it's late, it's Christmas, this is a holiday. So anyway, I start pulling my stuff back out of her car. I said, you got my stuff in here? I start pulling my stuff out. I pull her stuff out. She's throwing stuff back in the car. At the same time, she knocks her window out. At first, her whole problem was that I didn't spend Christmas with her. That was her whole problem and her attitude, because nobody can stand her because of the bull pulled on me, or excuse me, Your Honor, because of the things she's pulled on me. Everybody's confronted her and told her what kind of person she's been. So anyway, I get her calmed down. We go in the house, we lay down, and I would go to sleep.
Did you get undressed?
No.
Did she get undressed?
No. 5:30 in the morning, Your Honor, I woke up.
Why did you go to sleep with your clothes on?
I was tired, and I just wanted to go to bed.
A little bit, had some to drink that day?
Yes, it was Christmas. I was celebrating with my family.
Okay. Next day, what happened?
I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. She's reloading my tools and her tools again. She's sputtering out of the driveway, and she can't even get her trunk shut because she's got so much stuff in the back of it. So I'm pulling stuff back out, and she's sputtering out of my driveway. She drives away, comes back a half hour, maybe 45 minutes later with the police.
Okay. You went and called the police. Shh. You went and called the police, correct?
Yeah, I finally got to a point I had a chance to get my key.
All right. Let me read to you in the police report that you've given me what the police say. They said that you contacted them, and you say that you were shoved and punched and pulled by the hair and threw you around the residence throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Hagen refused medical attention and treatment and appeared to be in no distress. Ms. Hagen's hair, makeup appeared to be neat, and there was no physical evidence to support her allegations. How do you explain the fact, Ms. Hagen, that after all you went through that night, beaten, pummeled, thrown over the couch, slept in your clothes, all of those terrible things. Why do you think that the police noted there was no physical evidence to support her allegations?
I tried to go to the police officer at the time. I've actually tried, still continuing trying to get a hold of the officer, why they haven't done anything further than this.
This is his report. This is what he wrote at the time he saw you.
That is his opinion.
This is what he wrote.
I never even got out of my car because I could not keep my car running because my car would die and I was afraid to be too close to lose a resident with it.
Okay, I'm finished with the assault part. Now let's move on to the big screen television set.
During the summer of 2004, I had moved out of my house with my ex-husband. My son and Brian Smart took the big screen TV and brought it over to his house. Well, the kids got really fond of it. They were playing video games and stuff like that. And so I didn't really say anything. And then when I moved into my new place, there just was no room. So I went in and left it at Brian's house. And the kids were having a good time. And
for 6 months?
Yeah. And I asked for it back then, too. And I just figured I'm taking it to court now.
She needed money. She was selling all these things that she got from her ex-husband. She was trying to get like $800 for the TV. I finally talked her down to $600. She really needed the money. Her and her son needed to go get an apartment. I wrote out her a check, which I have right here.
Can I see it, please?
And I believe, Your Honor.
Why did he give you $600?
I never received $600. He has gave me checks in the past that to cash in for him so he can pay off bills and take care of his kids for daycare.
Why would he give you money?
He gave me a lot of money off and on.
No, listen to me. First you said he never gave you a check. Then you said he did give you checks to cash for him that he needed for his children.
Not for the TV.
Well, I just asked you a question, Miss Hagan. What did he give you $600 for in June?
I know I had to get the kids shots and stuff like that. He gave me some money.
He's got his own bank account. What does he need you to cash a check for? I'm not satisfied with your explanation with regard to the assault that you allege happened, because Mr. Smart says that there was no assault. The police who observed you at the time you called indicated that there was absolutely no physical evidence whatsoever that they could discern, either on your body or in your clothes or your hair, that would support the horrific story you just told me about this horrific assault. In addition, in your claim, you didn't tell me that you had spent the night with him.
I didn't have a choice.
You have a choice. Of course you have a choice. Somebody who was as drunk as you say...
Prior to this,
I'm speaking. Someone who was as drunk as you say, when their head hits the pillow, they're out. And you got up to go to the bath. Don't shake your head. Were you there?
No.
Good. So, quite frankly, Miss Hagan, I don't believe you. And I don't believe that this TV that you left there for 6 months, you all of a sudden want back. I believe that he gave you $600 for it. There is absolutely no other reason, no other credible reason why he would have given you a check in June at about the same time that you were moving out of your place and going into a smaller place. Your claim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just glad she was smart enough lady to see through this lady's lies and manipulating everybody.
I know this guy. I've lived with him. I actually left him because the drugs problem was so bad in his house with his kids doing drugs.
He can't keep his constant job. This way for her to go through her life to get more out of society.
I never even got out of my car when the cops even, because I couldn't keep my car running. I was too scared he was going to come back at me and run at me again.
She's this kind of person that she tries to manipulate everybody constantly to get through life.
That muffin buyer is suing her boyfriend's estranged wife, Cindy Kane, for lost wages and attorney fees. Cindy is countersuing, claiming Annette filed false charges with Child Protective Services.
All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 512 on the calendar in the matter of Muffin Buyer versus Kane. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Muffin Buyer, I gather from your complaint that you are currently living with the defendant's soon-to-be ex-husband.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that him?
Yes, that is.
That would be you. And it is your complaint that Miss Kane somehow instructed her attorney to have you subpoenaed for a deposition that would be included in her divorce. And according to you, she did so maliciously, causing you to have to hire a lawyer and lose a day's work.
That's correct.
So you want her to pay for your lawyer and your expenses.
Yes.
Ms. Kane says there was information that her lawyer thought would be necessary. I have no idea what that is. She is counterclaiming because she says that you have done things to harass her and her family and her children. You've made reports to authorities about her, and she has a counterclaim. When did you move in with Mrs. Kane's husband?
June 24th of 2004.
And when did you and your husband separate?
April 7th, 2004. He was removed from the home.
Had you known him before June 24th?
Yes, I had.
From where?
Work.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
How old are they?
18, 16, and 12.
And how old are your children, Mrs. Kane?
16, 13, and 10.
And they live with you?
Yes, they do, Your Honor.
I'm ready to hear your case, Ms. Moffenbauer, about why you think that Ms. Kane should pay you for having to hire a lawyer and go to a deposition.
As you said, I'm living with her soon-to-be ex-husband, and I had reported to the authorities that their children had said they were being abused by their older brother at their home.
So you filed a police report or a report with Child Protective Services that there was some sort of neglect or abuse going on in Mrs. Kane's home?
Correct. That's what her children reported in our home.
Whatever. I don't know whether that's true or not, but all I know, you reported that.
I have some evidence supporting that.
You reported that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so?
I feel that she's angry that I'm living with her soon-to-be ex-husband.
In what state do you live?
Washington.
One of the grounds for divorce in Washington, adultery?
No, not to my knowledge. It's a no-fault state.
Well, it could be a no-fault state, but they can also have a grounds divorce.
They're not getting divorced, excuse me, Your Honor, because of adultery. They're getting divorced because of domestic violence and other things happening in their home.
You have a copy of the deposition?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please?
Sure.
Were you still living with your husband, Mrs. Kane, in 2002?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
Do you have any indication at that time that he was seeing Miss Moffenbauer?
No, Your Honor, I did not.
Some of the questions that were posed to you in this deposition, Miss Moffenbauer, had to do with the fact that you did, in fact, start a social relationship with Mr. Kane in 2002.
Yes.
Did you know he was married at the time and living with his family?
Yes, I did.
Even that issue makes it perfectly legitimate for you to be deposed.
I feel she had me deposed because
she doesn't like you? Well, that's very possible, madam. Listen to me. It is very possible that she doesn't like you because in 2002, when she was living with her husband, sharing a home with him, with her 3 children, right, he was out fooling around with you. So it's very possible, my dear, that that's why she doesn't like you. Would you say if the situation were reversed?
Yes, Your Honor.
You would
However,
be annoyed.
I would have done something to improve my relationship afterwards.
Oh, baloney.
Had that been the case.
Oh, baloney. Listen to me. Listen to me. That's baloney. And when you were going out with him in 2002, would you go for dinner?
No, Your Honor. We'd go have coffee at a Starbucks for 15, 20 minutes. It was not a big sexual relationship.
Well, that's not entirely true, madam. The person who deposed you asked whether you were having sexual relations with Mr. Kane. You've acknowledged ultimately that you did. And where did it occur for the first time? And you said at a hotel.
Yes, Your Honor. I said...
That's not Starbucks.
Your Honor, I said... Okay.
Quiet!
I said it wasn't a long sexual relationship.
No,
it was
I asked
very
you whether
brief.
you went out. I asked you whether you went out. You went out to dinner, and you said no. The only thing you did went to Starbucks.
Okay, I didn't realize that I should...
Okay. And when you went to this hotel room, who paid?
It was a gift to me from somebody else.
You want to explain that to me?
My sister and her husband. A doctor and a nurse.
Yes.
Very respectable couple.
Gave you a hotel? I mean, I don't understand. You want to make that clear to me?
They gave it to me to use however I wanted to. Not because, you know, I do that on a regular basis.
I'm trying to figure out whether or not in that month and a half that you say you were together in 2002 that there was any money spent.
It was mutual spending.
So he did spend some money?
Not very much, but yes. Yes, he did.
And for the last
but it wasn't for
6 months that you've been living together, does he spend any money?
It's a joint effort.
Well, then that's also another reason to depose you with regard to finances. his finances and what he's spending and what he can afford to pay for his children. Now, the counterclaim is interesting to me only in one aspect, Mrs. Kane. And that is something that Ms. Moffenbauer referred to in her direct testimony, which was that she called Child Protective Services. Now, you want to explain to me, madam, why you called Child Protective Services?
Yes, Your Honor. Her children, her two younger children, Patrick and Sarah, said that their brother Ian was hitting them, stomping on them, not letting them use the phone when they wanted to call somebody for help, etc. My children were sitting there also, and they said to me...
Where was Mr. Kane?
He was in the room also.
My question to you is, why did you call Child Protective Services?
Because I felt it was the right thing to do.
It's none of your business.
I disagree. My children were in the home, and
Listen.
I'm teaching my children to be...
I'm saying to you, madam, if their father was there, their father picks up the phone and either calls Child Protective Services or makes a beeline to local domestic relations court and says, I want on an order to show cause, I want immediate physical custody of my children because I have information that they are being abused. You have nothing to do with this family.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Is accusing her boyfriend's estranged wife, Cindy Kane, of dragging her into her divorce case. Annette is suing for the cost to hire a lawyer for the deposition.
Madam, if he were away serving his country in Iraq, and you were the only one who heard these allegations, then I would say to you, well, perhaps in order to protect the children, you have to do that. Other than that, if their father was in the room, you're nothing but a big busybody.
No, excuse me, Your Honor, but I work in a hospital. There are signs everywhere that say report domestic violence. Some people are not, they won't do it. They're too afraid. Perhaps Mr. Kane was afraid to do that. I, on the other hand, am going to do what I...
Perhaps he didn't believe his two younger children.
I disagree.
Perhaps he didn't believe...
I have evidence, Your Honor.
Listen to me, my dear. My question to you is, why did you make the phone call? And I will tell you that I am dissatisfied with the reason that you gave me for you making this phone call rather than their father. Because it doesn't... I'm speaking because it doesn't make sense. If I were a parent... and my two little children, at a time when I was separated from my wife or my husband, and if I were listening to my two children who were ages 13 and 10, not exactly toddlers, say, my 16-year-old brother is knocking me around and he won't let me use the phone to call somebody, and if I actually believed that my children were at risk, I would jump into action unless I were brain dead. Is Mr. Kane brain dead?
No, he's not.
All right. And the fact that you chose to make these calls indicates to me that you are a big troublemaker. All I can suggest to you, madam, is it better stop, because you can either torture these children or not torture these children. And if you permit her, Mr. Kane, to interfere with your business, you are as short-sighted as I think you are.
I believe that anyone
Don't speak
needs
to me
do the
sitting
right
down.
thing.
You want to speak to me, stand up.
Anyone has the right to do the right thing. If my children reported abuse to the neighbor, they have an obligation to call.
Absolutely, sir.
Well,
but let me
what
ask you this
difference is this
question.
person?
Mr. Kane, well, this is what I don't understand. Ms. Moffenbauer said you were present when this was said. You chose not to run down to the family court to ask for custody of your children, not go to the police and bring your children to the authorities and say, my children are being abused. You chose to do nothing.
No, I took them to the ER. This occurred on a Sunday night. Child Services and the police department are not open on a Sunday night.
Police department's open.
They are not open. No, they are not. Not on weekends. The
Police department isn't open on Sunday? Where do you live?
No.
Where do you live?
Vancouver, Washington.
You mean, are you telling me in Vancouver, Washington, the police go off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
No, they don't go off, but the department, the physical structure, is locked up. And
So
only
who
way
cares if they're locked up? You call 911.
I did.
And?
They never came.
Why didn't you call Child Protective Services?
It was a weekend, and the following Monday we did.
Not we, she, not you, she.
Because I was in the ER with my children at the time having them evaluated.
Can I see the report from the ER?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
I have my copy from the ER.
Okay. I have...
Is this the same report?
No, we have
there's
more.
social worker letters, notes also.
તો આપણા બધાનું સ્વાગત છે મારા નવા વ્લોગમાં. તો આજ હું તમને બધાને કહીશ કે કઈ રીતે આપણે વ્લોગ બનાવી, કઈ રીતે એનું બધું આપણે સામગ્રી કરવી પડે જેથી આપણો વ્લોગ એકદમ સરસ ને મજામાં આવે એવો લાગે. તો આજ હું તમને એ બધું શીખવાડવાનો છું કઈ રીતે આપણે કરવાનું હોય. તો આપણે ટેન્શન ન લેતા આપણો બ્લોગ બહુ લાંબો થવાનો છે, અને જો તમને બ્લોગ ના ગમે તો તમે છોડીને જઈ શકો છો. તો આજ હું તમને કહીશ બધું સ્ટેપ બાય સ્ટેપ બધું કહેવાનું છું કઈ રીતે કરવાનું, આપણે શું હોય જેથી આપણે ખબર પડે કે આ રીતે આપણે બ્લોગ બનાવી તો બ્લોગ વાયરલ થાય. ટૂંકમાં એમાં શું શું કરવું પડે જેથી આપણો બ્લોગ વાયરલ જાય, કે ઘણી બધી એવી સેટિંગો આવે, પછી કેટલી એનું રિવિઝન નાખવું પડે, ટેગ નાખવા પડે, ટાઇટલ નાખવું પડે, એક સારું થંબનેલ બનાવવું પડે જેથી આપણા વિડીયો વાયરલ થાય. તો વિડીયો વાયરલ કરવા માટે ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ કરવી પડે, ત્યારે આપણો ફર્સ્ટ બ્લોગ વાયરલ થાય છે. તો આપણે એની માટે શું શું કરવું પડે, કઈ રીતે કરવાનું, હું બધું આ ચેનલમાં તમને શીખવાડવાનો છું. તો તમે આ ચેનલ સાથે જોડાયેલા રહેજો, અને અત્યાર સુધી તમે સબસ્ક્રાઈબ ને લાઇક શેર ન કર્યું હોય તો એ પણ કરી દેજો. તો આપણે બ્લોગને ચાલુ કરવાનો છે ટૂંક જ સમયમાં. તો પ્લીઝ યાર અભી તક તમે સબસ્ક્રાઈબ ન કર્યું તો સબસ્ક્રાઈબ કરી દેજો. અને સૌથી પહેલાં તમે જો ફ્રી ફાયર રમતા હોય કે PUBG રમતા હોય એ રમવાની મૂકવાની નથી, એ તો રમતા જ રહીજો. લેકિન મારું કહેવાનો મતલબ એમ છે કે યુટ્યુબમાં તમે સાઈડમાં કામ કરતા રહો ને, તમને અહીંયાથી પૈસાની આવક ચાલુ થઈ જાય. તો તમે શું કે એ ગેમો રમો તો ટાઈમપાસ કરો તો કાંઈ તકલીફ ના પડે. તો તમારે સાઈડમાં જો અર્નિંગ ચાલુ હોય ને તો ઠીક રહે. તો આપણે સૌથી પહેલાં શું કરવાનું ખબર છે? હાલો તમને હું દેખાડી દઉં. આ મારો ફોન છે, થોડોક તૂટી ગયો છે પણ કાંઈ વાંધો નથી, આપણે હાલે છે ફોન એટલે ઉપાય નહીં. જો આવી ગેમો રમતો હોય, આ ગેમ રમતો હોય જ્યારે હોય તારું, આ ગેમ મેં હેક કરેલી છે. આ ગેમ મેં હેક કરેલી છે, તમને દેખાડો મેં ક્યાં કેટલા અંદર લેવલ કરી નાખ્યા કમ્પ્લીટ. આ ગેમ રમવાનું મને બહુ મજા આવે યાર, કેમ કે આમાં આપણે જો તમે એકદમ ચેક કરો કેટલા હદાય મેં ક્યાં ઠેઠ પહોંચાડી દીધી છે ગેમ. આ ગેમમાં જો આ રીતે આવે, પછી આના ઉપર ક્લિક કરવી એટલે ગેમ ચાલુ થાય, પછી આ રીતે ચેક કરવી, આના ઉપર અડવી એટલે ક્રશ લેન્ડિંગવાળું આવે, આના ઉપર દબાઈ દેવી એટલે એ ગેમ ઉપડી જાય. જો ઉપડી ગયા ત્યારે તો હવે તમને હું કહું, જો આ રીતે આપણે આમાં દોડવાનું હોય, પછી અહીંથી જમ્પ કરવાનો હોય, પછી આ રીતે મગજ નાખવાનું આવે, પછી આ રીતે આમાં મારો ને એટલે શોટ લાગે એટલે આમને જો હા એક જો આવી ગયો. એ ભાગી જવાના છે મારા બેટા, એ ભાગી જવાનું હોય. આવી ગયું ગાઈસ, આવી ગયું. જોઈ શકો છો તમે, મેં પકડી લીધા, ઘણા બધા પકડી લીધા છે, મેં મૂંઝાતા નહીં. તો એ તમને હું દેખાડી દઉં. એ ભાગી જવાનું ગાઈસ. આપણે પાસે ઘણા બધા પૈસા છે. નો આવ્યું ગાઈઝ, ભાગી ગયું. તો તમને મારું બસ કહેવાનું એટલો મતલબ, જો એકાદો પાવર બેંક લઈ લેવાનો જેથી તમે ચાર્જિંગ રાખી શકો, ગમે એટલી ગેમ રમો તો. ચાર્જિંગ વગર તો નકામું ને ગાઈઝ બધું. મારું બધું આવતું નથી એક હાથે ગાઈઝ, એક હાથે ફોન પકડ્યો છે, મારી પાસે કાંઈ એવું સ્ટેન્ડ બેન્ડ છે નહીં ગાઈઝ કે હું એની વડે હું કરી શકું કાંઈ. એવું છે ગાઈઝ અત્યારે આપણે બધું. જો ગાઈઝ જોજો, આપણે ભડકો જોજો થાય ગાઈઝ. હા શોર્ટ થઈ ગયો, તો ડાયરેક્ટ શોર્ટ સર્કિટ જ કરી નાખવાનું. આપણે કાંઈ મૂંઝાવાનું નહીં, આપણે પાસે એટલા પૈસા જ એટલા થાય. જો પૈસા જો એકદમ પૈસાને ટૂબ લાગડ્યું જો યાર. આ ફ્રી ફાયરમાં જે રીતે આવે ને એ રીતે આપણા ડાયમંડ છે આમાં. એના ઉપર તમે ગમે એટલું યુઝ ન કરો, ખૂટશે જ નહીં એવું છે. જો જોઈજો શું લાગે છે. એક નટબોલ લાગ્યો છે ગાઈઝ, બીજો નટબોલ લાગ્યો છે, ત્રીજું એક ચકડું લાગ્યું છે ગાઈઝ. જોયું એક દાડ ફરતે સ્પીડ મારી આપણે શું આવે લાગે છે આપણને. ચાલો ફરતી સ્પિન આપણે મારી દીધી છે. આ સ્પિનમાં શું લાગે છે? 500 રૂપિયા લાગ્યા, એક સકડું લાગ્યું અને 1000 રૂપિયા લાગ્યા. અરે ભાઈ પૈસાની તો આપણે કમી જ નથી. જો પૈસા તો આપણે પાસે બહુ પડ્યા છે ગાઈસ, પૈસાની આપણે પાસે કમી છે જ નહીં ને. જો આટલા તો લેવલ પકડી દીધા. આવું કંઈક જોયું છે, આવું કંઈક. તો આ ક્યાં નકશામાં આવે એ જોવું પડશે. એમ જગા નકશા એટલા બધા આવે છે કે વાત જવા દો. આ નકશામાં આવે છે તો આમાં આપણે પકડવા દઈશું. અને જગ્યાએ શું લઈશું? બસ આ ચાલશે કમ્પ્લીટ, બાકી આ તો છે જ તે કમ્પ્લીટ. ચાલો શરૂ કરી દેવી. તમને જો મજા આવતી હોય વિડીયોમાં તો યાર પ્લીઝ યાર લાઈક કરી દેતા રહીજો. લાઈક કરશો ને તો અમને મજા આવશે યાર. કેમ કે લાઈક તમે કરી છે ને તો જો લાઈક ફોન તો લાઈક કરી છે ને તો જો મને ગેમ રમવાની મજા આવશે અને તમને લોકોને જોવાની મજા આવશે. બીજું કાંઈ નથી આમાં, કાંઈ આપણે કાંઈ લેવાનું એવું કાંઈ ખાસ છે જ નહીં. બસ આપણે શું છે કે તમને મજા આવે, પછી મને થોડાક પૈસા મળે, તમને હું શીખવાડું કઈ રીતે પૈસા કમાવાના, એ જ માટે છે. બીજું કાંઈ આમાં લાંબુ કાંઈ એવું છે નહીં કાંઈ બીજું. જોજો આવું પાણી અંદર છે અત્યારે. જો ટાળી દીધી અમારું ગુજરાતીમાં ટાળી દીધી આવે. જો આ બે પકડી લો એટલે મને જો પકડી ગયા. જો 2x 3x. જો આવી રીતના ગેમ રમવાની કેવી મજા આવે યાર. જામો પડી જાય હું ભલા માણસો. તમે એક દાડ રમશો પછી તમને ઓટોમેટિક અનુભવ થઈ જશે. ગેમ રમવાની બહુ મજા આવે. જો બહુ. ચાલો હવે તમને કંઈક બીજું કંઈક દેખાડું હવે, કેમ કે આપણે વ્લોગ મોટો કરવાનો છે એટલે મારે તમને કંઈક ને કંઈક તો દેખાડતું રહેવું પડશે ને, નકર તો તમે ભાગી જશો તો નકામું થશે. હવે શું દેખાડું? મારી યુટ્યુબ ચેનલ જે બીજી ચેનલ છે એનું બધું દેખાડું. કેવા મારે 23,391 સબસ્ક્રાઈબર છે. આમાં વિડીયો તમને દેખાડું એકદમ. જો શરૂઆતનો વિડીયો નહીં થાય 300 વ્યૂઝ, 450 વ્યૂઝ, 175 વ્યૂઝ, 622 વ્યૂઝ, 999 વ્યૂઝ, અનલિસ્ટેડ એ કંઈક કરેલા છે. જો આ વિડીયો 10K, 4.3K, 2.3K, 1.1K, 3.1K, 3.6K, 2.1K, 2.2K. જો તમે એકદમ વ્યૂઝ જુઓ યાર કેવા ગજબના. 22K, 28K, 11K, 29K, 20K, 27K, 28K, 24K. इधर व्यूज़ देखो यार गाइस, कितने अच्छे व्यूज़ आ रहे थे. देखो ये सब मैंने कॉपी पेस्ट काम किया है. A to Z सारे का सारा मैंने कॉपी पेस्ट काम किया है और मेरा वीडियो एक भी डिलीट भी नहीं हुआ. देखो एक बार देखो, इसमें देखो कितना व्यूज़ है. 666K. देखो ऐसे इस तरह से व्यूज़ आते हैं गाइस. लेकिन आपको भी ऐसा काम सीखना है तो मेरे को कमेंट करो. मैं आपको पर्सनली मैसेज करूँगा यार, और आपको एक काम सिखाऊंगा किस तरह से कॉपीराइट काम करते हैं. देखो एक बार देख लो कितने व्यूज़ आ रहे हैं वो देखो एक बार. काफ़ी व्यूज़ आया हुआ है. देखो इसी तरह से व्यूज़ आना चाहिए. देखो तो चलता है. ये पहले कोई और वीडियो डालता था, फिर मैंने उसको बदल कर ये कर दिया. ये वाले व्यूज़ देखो 4 लाख व्यूज़ आया है. 3 मंथ पहले मैंने डाला था, 4 लाख व्यूज़ आया है. 35K तो सिर्फ इसमें लाइक किया है. देखो दिख रहा है ये, और ये मेरा फर्स्ट वीडियो ही है. देखो उससे पहले मैं ऐसे वीडियो डालता था, वो वीडियो मेरी वायरल नहीं होती थी. फिर 1, 2 और 3 तीसरी वीडियो मेरी वायरल चली गई. देखो इसमें देखो दिख रहा है क्या? सारे के सारे प्राइवेट कर रखे. पहले मैं ऐसी वीडियो अपलोड करता था. फिर मैं अपने अभी लाइव स्ट्रीम दिखा देता हूँ. अभी देखो चैनल डाउन में चल रहा है चैनल डाउन में. देखो 0 व्यूज़ आ रहा है. कमेंट में लेके जाता हूँ. देखो कमेंट देखो एक बार. देखो कमेंट भी इसमें कम हो गई लगता है. यहाँ देखो मोनेटाइज में कितना वॉच टाइम है. देखो 4 लाख मैंने वॉच टाइम तो कंप्लीट करके रखा हुआ है. देखो है. और अभी देखो यहाँ पर भी 3 ये जो दूसरा वाला सेक्शन है देख लो. अभी मैं आपको दूसरी चैनल, अगर आपने देखा, मैंने आपको दिखाया पूरे का पूरा किस तरह से कॉपी पेस्ट काम करता हूँ मैं. अगर इस तरह से भी आपको भी कॉपी पेस्ट काम करना है तो मेरे को कमेंट करो. मैं आपको पर्सनली गाइड करूँगा कभी ब्लॉग बनाना मुझे आता तो नहीं है, लेकिन बस ट्राई कर रहा हूँ। कॉपी पेस्ट में ही डालूंगा ये ब्लॉग, लेकिन अभी ट्राई कर रहा हूँ। ठीक है, तो अभी मैं आपको एक और चैनल है उसका भी दिखा देता हूँ, आपको लगे नहीं बंदा कर रहा है कॉपी पेस्ट का उस तरह का, क्योंकि इस काम में ना हमें प्राइवेसी भी थोड़ी रखनी पड़ती है। देखो ये दूसरी चैनल मैंने ओपन कर ली, इसमें कम सब्सक्राइबर है और अभी व्यूज़ के नाम पर तो कुछ भी नहीं है यार। यहाँ पर जाता हूँ, देखो 110, 1, 227, 255, 7, 266, 21, 19, देखो किस तरह के व्यूज़ कैसे आ रहे। देखो 19 के, 27 के, 122 के, देखो 134 के, 272 के, देखो 50 के, 56 के, 10 के। इसमें व्यूज आ रहे हैं लेकिन कम व्यूज आ रहे हैं, इतने ज़्यादा व्यूज कुछ आ नहीं रहे खास। देखो फिर यहाँ पर जाकर मैं अभी लाइव का दिखा रहा हूँ। अभी देखो अभी व्यूज नहीं आ रहा है, अभी व्यूज के नाम पर कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा है यार। अभी यहाँ देखो जय माता दी, जय माता दी, जय माता दी। देखो फिर यहाँ जाकर इसका लाइव, अब इसका देखो ये शायद 3 मंथ पहले मैं इसको यूज कर रहा था, इस वजह से यार इसका उस टाइम ज़्यादा काउंट ही नहीं हुआ, ज़्यादा तो क्या काउंट ही नहीं हुआ यार। अभी इसको मैं जाकर आपको दिखा देता हूँ। ये मैं 90 डेज़ पहले करता हूँ, तो नहीं 90 डेज़ पहले का नहीं था, 365 डेज़ पहले का करता हूँ। देखो तो देखो ये कितना ऊपर गया वो देखो एक बार, वो नीचे का आ रहा है। 1 मिनट गाइस, 1 मिनट में करके दिखाता हूँ। देखो अरे गाइस उसके बाजू वाला आ रहा है यार, आ गया। देखो एक साथ कितना व्यूज गया ऊपर, देखो फिर काफ़ी यार, ये तो बात है। अभी ये लाइव सब्सक्राइबर एक दिन में कितना बड़ा वो दिखाता हूँ मैं। अभी तो माइनस में जा रहा है, यहाँ पर जाकर देखो एक दिन में बड़ा था, एक दिन में कितना बड़ा था। देखो 860 सब्सक्राइबर एक दिन में बढ़ा था, 430 सब्सक्राइबर। अभी सब्सक्राइबर मेरा माइनस में चल रहा है गाइस, अभी जो सब्सक्राइब चल रहा है ना मेरा वो माइनस में चल रहा है। दिक्कत नहीं है, इस चैनल को मैं फिर से रनिंग करना चाहूँ तो कर सकता हूँ। देखो ये सारे कॉपी पेस्ट चैनल, देखो वही वीडियो डाले हुए। देखो पहले ऐसा काम किया है, उसके बाद उस तरह के वीडियो डालना चालू किया है, तो इसी तरह से हम काम करते हैं गाइस। इसमें कुछ नया नहीं है। देखो इसके भी चैनल मोनेटाइज नहीं, ये चैनल मैंने आपको दिखाया, ये चैनल भी मोनेटाइज नहीं है, और ऐसे चैनल मेरे पास काफ़ी सारे पड़े हुए हैं। तो अभी मैं आपको क्या दिखाऊं, 1 मिनट रुको मैं और कुछ दिखाता हूँ। एक चैनल मेरे पास और पड़ा हुआ है ना, उसी को दिखाता हूँ। देखो इसमें सब्सक्राइबर कम है, पर ये चैनल वायरल चैनल है। इसका खुद से मैंने सब्सक्राइबर नहीं किए, ये मैंने बस अपलोड किया था वीडियो और सब्सक्राइबर बढ़ने चालू हो गए। इसमें देखो मैं तुमको दिखाता हूँ। ये चैनल है ना, उसमें मैं कैसे वीडियो अपलोड करना था पता है। देखो व्यूज़ देखो, इसमें ग्रीन स्क्रीन करना था। इस चैनल पर मैं ग्रीन स्क्रीन कर रहा हूँ, समझ में? इस ग्रीन स्क्रीन कैसे, वो जैसे हम यूट्यूब पर अपलोड करते समय वहाँ पर ऑप्शन आता है ग्रीन स्क्रीन, वैसे नहीं। तो मैं पहले वीडियो को डाउनलोड करके मैं अपना एक ग्रीन स्क्रीन का वीडियो में शूट करके फिर मैं उसके ऊपर बैकग्राउंड रिमूव करके डाल देता हूँ, उसके बाद मैं उसे अपलोड कर देता हूँ। उस तरह की बात कर रहा हूँ, उस तरह से करोगे तो हो जाता है यार। काफ़ी सारे वीडियो वायरल के, देखो 50 के 60 के। रुको मैं आपको ठीक से दिखाता हूँ। देखो ये 12 के, 50 के, 33 के, 38 के, 15 के, 36 के, 33 के। उसके पहले ऐसे वीडियो अपलोड करता था। देखो ऐसे वीडियो, काफ़ी सारे ऐसे वीडियो अपलोड किए, फिर मैंने उसको बदल दिया, इसका कंटेंट बदला, फिर भी इसमें व्यू अच्छे खासे व्यूज़ आ रहे थे। देखो कैसे व्यूज़ आ रहे, देख लो एक बार। तो फिर ऐसे ही व्यूज़ आते हैं यार, लेकिन आपको थोड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है यार। देखो मेहनत करोगे तो ही कुछ मिलेगा ना यार। वो अगर आप मेहनत ही नहीं करोगे तो कैसे कुछ मिलेगा बताइए। मेहनत करने पर यार सब कुछ मिलता है, लेकिन मेहनत करनी चाहिए, मेहनत करोगे तभी तो कुछ मिलेगा यार। एक और चैनल दिखाता हूँ, देखो दिख रहा है 241 के। देखो थोड़ा कैमरा साफ कर देता हूँ यार, कोई बात नहीं यार, पहला ब्लॉग है इसलिए ऐसा होगा यार, पर धीरे धीरे सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा जैसे जैसे मैं बनाता जाऊँगा ना। क्यों कैमरा नहीं कैचअप कर रहा है यार, क्या हुआ है इसे? ये देखो, अरे यार इतना ज़्यादा जूमिंग, थोड़ा सा कम कर देता हूँ यार। 1 मिनट गाइस रुक जाओ थोड़ा सा यार, ये जूम कर हो गया ज़्यादा। फोन काहे को बंद हो रहा है जी? इसको मैं 1x तब क्या गाइस कहते हो, 1x चलेगा ना? देखो इतना चलेगा। देखो और कम कर देता हूँ यार, देखो 60 चलेगा यार, काफ़ी कूल। इसमें सब कुछ ठीक से दिखाई नहीं देगा, देखो थोड़ा बढ़ाता हूँ, 8 9 1x कर देता हूँ। देखो क्लियरिटी के साथ दिख रहा है ना अब सब कुछ, क्लियरिटी के साथ। राजानी मौज, अरे यस तो मैं यार दोस्त बोलते ही यार वीडियो डाल दो तो डाल देता हूँ। देखो एक ये फ्री फायर का डाला हुआ है, एक ये फ्री फायर का डाला हुआ है, और इसमें व्यूज़ गए देखो 446 व्यूज़ गए यार। देखो वॉच टाइम 25 घंटे का वॉच टाइम इसमें आया, देखो 25 घंटे का वॉच टाइम आया। बाकी ये वीडियो देख, फिर ये लाइव स्ट्रीम भी किया वो, देखो दो लाइव स्ट्रीम किया हुआ इस चैनल पर मैं। वैसे तो यार मैं बंदा तो अच्छा हूँ, लेकिन कभी कभी लाइव स्ट्रीम कर लेता हूँ यार, क्या बोलूँ मैं भी अभी। देखो ये ऐसे में इसको ऐसे लाइक करना होता है, लेकिन मेरे पास टाइम ही नहीं होता यार। एक साथ में 10-15 चैनलों पर काम कर रहा होता हूँ, पता ही नहीं रहता यार लाइव स्ट्रीम करूँ या क्या करूँ, कुछ समझ ही नहीं आता यार। फिर क्या कहूँ मैं तुम्हें, ठीक है दुखो रुको। वो फोन ऊंधो થઈ ગયો હોય એવું લાગ્યું મને, એટલે વિડીયો બંધ કરીને ચાલુ કર્યો। જો આ વિડીયો જો તમને એસીઓ કરીને દેખાડવાનો વિચારું જો આ દેખાય છે એવરેજ વ્યૂ ડ્યુરેશન 81%, તો બસ એ જ તમારે એની ઉપર કામ કરવાનું। પછી જો આ SD અને HD અને 4K 3 ઓપ્શન તમારા વિડીયોમાં જો આવે છે ને, તમારો વિડીયો વાયરલ થવાથી કોઈ નથી રોકી શકતું। આમાં તમને લાઈવ સ્ટાઈલ દેખાડી દઉં, 3 વિડીયો 6 વેલિડ વ્યૂઝ 30 લાખ 30 લાખ। પછી નીચેનો જે ઓરિજિનલ 100 lakhs આ વ્યૂ આ સબસ્ક્રાઈબર જો કમ્પ્લીટ થઈ જાય તો તમારો ચેનલ તમે મોનેટાઈઝ માટે એપ્લાય કરી શકો છો। કોઈ ટ્રેક આવ્યા વગર તમારી ચેનલ મોનેટાઈઝ પણ થઈ જશે, અને એક પણ જાતની તમારામાં ટ્રેક પણ નહીં આવે। સમજ્યા તમે? જો આટલી ચેનલો છે મારી પાસે, કાંઈ કહેવાનું નહીં તમારે, તમારે સમજ્યા તમે? એવું છે બધું આમાં। શું કરવું કહો તો તમને એક ચેનલ દેખાડી દઉં હજી। આ ચેનલ તો લગભગ મેં તમને દેખાડી, કાં બીજી ચેનલ દેખાડું, એક જ મિનિટ પાડી લઉં થોડું। જો આ ચેનલમાં તમને થોડુંક અંદરથી સમજાવવા માગું છું કે હું કેવા કે સમજાવવા તમને શું માગું છું, તમે સમજજો ધ્યાનથી। કે જે મારો મોસ્ટ પોપ્યુલર વિડીયો આ રહ્યો, આ મારો મોસ્ટ પોપ્યુલર વિડીયો છે, જેમાં પબ્લિશ ન્યૂઝ શોર્ટ પબ્લિશ SD HD 4 lakhs वॉच टाइम 2.5 घंटे का तो वॉच टाइम ही आया यार गाइस। देखो एक बार सब्सक्राइबर कितने बड़े, देखो एक सिंगल वीडियो से मुझे 10K सब्सक्राइबर मिले, कितने, एक सिंगल वीडियो से, और कुछ नहीं, एक सिंगल वीडियो ने मुझे कितने सब्सक्राइबर दिए गाइस, आप समझ सकते हो। देखो एंगेजमेंट 2.1 lakhs, एंगेजमेंट भी काफ़ी आया है। देखो वीडियो का ड्यूरेशन देखो एक बार इतना अच्छा चल रहा था, फिर नीचे गया, फिर अच्छा चलने लगा, फिर नीचे गया, फिर नीचे चला, फिर अच्छा चला, फिर वापस नीचे गया, फिर वैसे अभी नीचे जा रहा है। स्वाइप रेट देखो, स्वाइप रेट के ऊपर आपको काम करना होगा। देखो मेरा वीडियो का पूरा लाइन सब कुछ देखो एक बार गाइस। फिर ऑडियंस कहाँ से थी वो सब दिखाता हूँ। मोबाइल से ज़्यादातर आई, फिर टीवी से आई, फिर टैबलेट से आई, फिर कंप्यूटर से आई, और ज़्यादातर के एज के लोग थे वो 18+ थे, 13 के नीचे था ही नहीं कोई ज़्यादा। फिर मेल ज़्यादा थे, फीमेल कम थी लेकिन थी सही। फिर इंडिया से आए, पाकिस्तान से आए और नेपाल से आए। 4% लोगों ने लाइक किया, 90% लोगों ने लाइक ही नहीं किया गाइस। क्या करते हो आप यार, लाइक बाइक कुछ करते रहो यार, क्या बताओ। अभी देखो ये सब्सक्राइबर मेरे एक दिन में कितने बड़े वो दिखाता हूँ। 90 डेज में 12,000, 90 डेज में होगा तो उससे ज़्यादा करना पड़ेगा। 365 दिन में एक दिन में बड़े थे सब्सक्राइबर मेरे। एक दिन में देखो यहाँ पर 4-4 हज़ार सब्सक्राइबर बढ़ते थे। ये वाला देखो एक दिन में कितने बड़े हैं, 3,608 एक ही दिन में, सिंगल डेज में इतने बड़े सब्सक्राइबर मेरे। तो गाइस सब्सक्राइबर तो अपने पास बहुत बढ़ते हैं यार, सब्सक्राइबर की तो अपने को कमी नहीं है। देखो अभी माइनस में जा रहे हैं, अभी काफ़ी वीडियो में व्यूज नहीं आ रहे हैं, उस वजह से सब्सक्राइबर माइनस में जा रहे हैं यार। कोई बात नहीं, अपन लोग कर देंगे कुछ ना कुछ जुगाड़ करके। इस चैनल को मैं मोनेटाइज करूँगा, देखना। इस चैनल को मोनेटाइज करके इससे मैं तगड़ा पैसा कमाऊँगा, देखना। और आप सबको दिखाऊँगा भी, देखो तगड़ा पैसा कमा रहा हूँ, आप सबको दिखाऊँगा मैं। तो अपने के पास यार उन लोग थोड़ी ना वो है, समझो उसको क्या कहते हैं, पागल थोड़ी ना है। पैसा कमाने के लिए आए तो पैसा कमाएंगे ना। देखो यूट्यूब पैसा दे रहा है मुँह फाड़ के, तो अपन लोग पैसा नहीं लूटेंगे तो क्या लूटेंगे बताओ। देखो ये सब देखो, क्या अभी भी क्या ही बताओ। देखो कितने दिन हो गया इसमें को, और टेंशन नहीं लेने का, टेंशन लेने का नहीं, टेंशन देने का। देखो सारा का सारा कॉपी पेस्ट, बस मेरे पास जितने भी चैनल हैं सारे की चैनल पर आपको कॉपी पेस्ट काम मिलेगा, क्योंकि मैं काम ही कॉपी पेस्ट का करता हूँ। देखो 50 के दिख रहा है, 50 के देखो, 26 के फर्स्ट वीडियो वायरल चला गया। 3 मंथ से चैनल पर कोई काम ही नहीं हो रहा है, 3 मंथ से चैनल पड़ा हुआ है, ऐसा ही चैनल पड़ा हुआ है। तो गाइस इसीलिए ठीक है गाइस, अभी इस व्लॉग को नहीं, इसमें कुछ और भी दिखा देता हूँ यार। इसमें तो कुछ देखने लायक घंटा बचा नहीं है, इसमें तो सारी लाइक हो गई। देखो यहाँ पर देखो 16, इसको 3 लाख करूँगा ना तो हाफ चैनल मोनेटाइज होगा, और जब 1 क्राइटेरिया पूरा करूँगा तो फुल चैनल मोनेटाइज होगा। तो अगर आप भी यूट्यूब पर काम कर रहे हो तो आप चैनल मोनेटाइज मत करना, हो सके तब तक तो फुल ही चैनल मोनेटाइज करो। फुल चैनल मोनेटाइज करोगे तो अच्छा रहेगा आपके लिए भी यार। ठीक है गाइज, तो अभी मैं सोने का टाइम हो गया है। टाइम कितना हो रहा है, अरे इसमें तो 24 घंटे वाली है।